Welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here. As promised, I am going back and taking another look at Laurel Hill because I felt like at the end of that last battle the strategy I was using actually probably could work if tweaked a little bit, and I could turn what was a draw into a victory. So I'm replaying the battle. I've made a couple of minor changes. I'm just now into my first batch of reinforcements here, and what I've done is, number one, I've took all my cavalry out, replaced them with some additional infantry, and I moved all of my Napoleons. I have 3 batteries of Napoleons. I put them all in the 1st division so that I would get them in the first batch of forces, and so I've got all those Napoleons lined up right along here to cause additional damage, and as you can see, already really effective. All 3 of them are doing really well for early in the fight, and as they get close, I can hit them with canister. And so what I'm going to do then is, with the additional infantry I'll have, I'm going to start to line up that flanking force and try to do the exact same thing, but this time try to cause additional casualties and really weaken his force before I fold him up, and then try to use the additional time to win the battle. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll check in from time to time, just as I often do with the replays. We'll see how it all kind of works out. Alright, so we're into the final stage of the battle now, 3.5 hours to go. I'm going to start getting my flanking force into position, and just going to try to cause as many casualties as humanly possible right along this line here, so that they're as weak as they can possibly be before I start advancing, because I know he's got all that artillery back here, and the longer I wait, the more out of ammo they're going to be, and the fewer men he'll have here, and that'll make my job a little bit easier. So I've got to be patient and wait as long as I can before I spring this attack. And rather than just pushing a line straight up, what I want to do is kind of what I did last time, which is actually kind of build a bulge in the line back here so I can kind of envelop and fold up those forces so he doesn't just fall back and build a strong line right here. I want to be able to get around that, bottle them up in here so I can get up and behind him to that objective. So we'll see if I'm able to do that, but that's the plan. Alright, so for the sake of comparison, we're at 232 to go right now. The last time I played this battle at 233, he had 53,400 men, so he's got about 1,000 more than that. Plus, he's got 6 more guns. I only had 45,000 men and 117 guns, so I've lost some more guns. I don't have as many, but I have almost 6,000 more men. So the gap is considerably more narrow this time around for me, and I'm just about ready to spring the next part of this trap. I'm actually going to send the 15th South Carolina ahead to deal with this first battery, because these aren't my troops, and so they're kind of expendable. And then I'm going to start to slowly move this up, and I actually want to bring another unit over here, because what I want to do is I want to build this bulge up here, and that means bringing some units around this way. So we'll spring this trap, we'll see how it goes. Alright, we're down to just 1 hour and 53 minutes to go now. And I'm starting to get up and into the bulk of his artillery. This is where I'm probably going to take some casualties. The good news is, of course, that he's running out of ammo with that artillery. So I have surpassed him now in terms of troop numbers on the field. I've got about 1,000 more men than he does, and that should continue to shift. The last time I played this, when it got down to 1 hour, I had about a 3,000, just under a 3,000 man advantage. I think I'm going to get there sooner this time. But so far things seem to be unfolding the way that I want them to. I'm going to start getting them bottled up here. I might need to shift a few more units over to the flank. Hour and 45 now, and we're at a almost 2,000 man advantage. So it's definitely going better than it did the last time. The difference here is that I've got to be patient. Last time I got to the last second and I threw everything at the objective trying to take it, and it just cost me a bunch of unnecessary casualties. What I'm hoping will happen here is that I'll allow the time to continue. It's one of those battles where it's still only 10 o'clock in the morning, so it's not going to just arbitrarily end the battle without me giving the okay for that. So hopefully that'll be enough to keep it going. Alright, so another opportunity for a little bit of comparison here. At 1:06 left to go, and the last time I fought this, Union had 40,300 men and 325 guns. So this time he's almost identical to that, just fewer guns. The difference here is I have 3,000 men more than I had last time. So the odds are a little bit better in my favor, whereas I had a 2,800 man advantage last time. That advantage is already almost up to 6,000. So I'm being patient, plus I've actually got him bottled up more than I did last time. Last time he was still out here a little bit more. So we're just going to keep slowly closing this noose. And I'll go ahead and stick with it here for this last part of the battle. And I'm going to start shifting a few brigades up this way to finish this encirclement. You can see this Napoleon's unit here, 2,500 kills. I don't know, is that my 3-star unit? No, that's one of my 2 stars. This one's got 3,000 kills. And that was a 2-star as well, but they lost their commander. My 3-star's right here, and they've only got 1,400, but that's mostly about their location on the field. They just weren't in a position to cause as many casualties. Alright, he's really bottled up now. "48 minutes to go, and I've now got about an 8,300 man advantage. He's down to just 37,000 men on the field. I've got a number of units that are still getting into position here. Oh, the 8th South Carolina, the Devil's Brigade over here. 666 men left. "37 minutes to go. Now about a 10,000 man advantage. So the casualties continue to mount up for him. As long as they're shifting in my favor, that's all I can really ask for. Is that even though I'm bottling him up and I'm really just engaging on a long front, I continue to get the advantage in casualties. I'm going to go ahead and charge these guys in there. The units that I don't really care that much about because they're not mine, the expendable ones, I'm just kind of charging them in there and trying to take out some of the artillery with them. Alright, 25 minutes to go. Oh, look at that. Let's get away from these guys up here. Got a 11,000 man advantage. He's down to just 231 guns now. Most importantly, I'm right on the edge of taking the objective. So really here, patience was the key. I got a little antsy toward the end, and making sure that you basically just put enough men on this fortification line to hold it against anything he might throw at you, but then put the bulk of your force down here, and don't just move it up as a straight line, but really kind of fold it over so you can get them all enveloped like this, and then it actually isn't going to be too difficult a task to take this objective, even though he outnumbered me by 30,000 men at the start of this battle. That's the beauty of fortification. Paper Collar Brigade, 3,500 kills this time around. And there it is, we've secured the objective. Now we'll just cause a few more casualties for good measure, and we'll wrap this thing up. Okay. So there's a victory at Laurel Hill. You can see this time about 13,000 casualties for me, 44,000, almost 45,000 infantry for him. Another 727 men in my artillery. Lost no cavalry, no missing. He lost 2,000 cavalry. Lost 179 guns for 4,700 men. So much, much, much better showing for me that time around. And it even shows in the number of guns that I captured. I captured significantly more, I think, in terms of the rifles that I was able to grab on the field, as well as rescued some of the guns that I lost. So there you have it. And we'll see how that kind of makes things look moving forward here. Certainly puts me in a much better position. So there's about 40,000 men there. 47, 54. So I still have right around 70,000, which is what I was looking at before. But now we go into Cold Harbor, and he's looking at 91 to 96, and I like those odds a lot. So there you have it. That's what happens when you kind of go back and fix the little things you did wrong. Now I get to move forward, having won that victory. Now my reputation points are much higher than they were otherwise. I got that additional money, the additional troops, and now we move forward, and hopefully that is helpful to you if you've been struggling with that battle. I know that's one of the harder ones. Some of you told me you didn't struggle, and that's awesome. I'm glad for you. But I'm glad moving forward we still have a flawless sheet of victories moving forward. So we'll see you next time with the Battle of Cold Harbor, probably Monday. So thanks for watching. If you hit that thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it, and we'll see you again soon.